Hälsingemörker is the latest full-length album from EREB ALTOR. This is a Gävle, Sweden-based band, which is, it was originally a band named Forlorn, who became Isol. When they removed kind of the Bathory-esque affect from that band, EREB ALTOR became the focus of that inspiration. Kind of a side project, but certainly a serious one that now has 10 full lengths under their belt, and a lot of great albums. I think if you're not familiar with By Honor, their first record, it's a mixture of that pagan Viking black metal feeling of the time, but also epic doom metal. And it's a very unique record that stands out among records like Skald and whatnot. Later on down their career, Natram is just a standout record for my taste. It was one of the records I connected with most as I went through their discography back in the day. I think they've had a lot of highlights since. Jartekin is really the one that seemed to light the fire under the band for these new releases, and they've kind of been on a roll since about 2017 otherwise. That isn't to say that we're just getting plain variations here. The vocal prowess of the band has sort of cropped up more often over the course of the last 4 albums, and at this point they're not only quite good at it, but they're arranging memorable music that is appreciably both cinematic as well as heavy. So we'll check out a clip here of that, and I'll describe why I just particularly enjoy this band overall. So if I told you a Viking metal band from Sweden was influenced by Swedish folk music, you'd say, which one, right? There's so many of them, and I think that EREB ALTOR stands out, having quite a strong personality and very pristine hi-fi production values. This is a very strong and at best as possible presentation, which is still very much in the spirit of something like Bathory later on. It isn't as ruddy or necessarily as outright melodic as the old stuff or the new. This is their own sound that they've honed over a long period of time. That said, this album is very much a follow-up to Varg Timman, and in the sense that it develops a lot of the vocal forward melodies more than it does focus on black metal riffing or anything like that. There are aggressive points, and they flex the variety of vocal textures they have at their hands. This was a band that always sang primarily in English, and over time a lot of the Swedish songs are the ones that are beginning to stand out the most, and I think most of the singles here are largely Swedish sung. It's a small note overall, but it does add to the intensity and authenticity of this hour-long record. I'm not really going to meditate on the themes or think too much about it. I would say this is a moderately high recommendation from me. I think it is not only up to the standard of their previous 3 records, but it brings in even more active vocal register, even more interesting cadence, a lot more harmonization of these vocals. If you're looking for something a little bit closer to the high quality of popular heavy metal music, but you don't really like the generica of melodic metal, I find this band is kind of somewhere in between the really popular stuff and but they actually have some substance behind what they're doing, and that makes a big difference for me because it's high quality, but it also comes from a somewhat genuine place. Just my point of view. See if you like it. Check it out if this is to your taste. It released on February 7th, and go ahead and read my review for more details and my thoughts on this album.